have some very important things to talk about with Baby Doge here today. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But let's go straight into this. So currently our price is at 8Z1235. So 8Z1200 is the current price here for Baby Doge. We are currently still down 13.3% in the last 30 days and 1.8% in the last 7 days. But right now, currently, what I really want to talk about is the state of the market right now in Baby Doge and where this price is about to go and how the price action is moving. Because in a previous video, I had mentioned how Bitcoin could be dropping down to 100K, possibly 105K or the 108K support. We actually came all the way down here to the 108K support, and then now we are recovering. So now it almost looks as if Bitcoin is going to continue on that uptrend. And if that happens, we might not see Baby Doge reaching 8Z1 like we want it to for that discounted price, right? We might not see it continue to drop. Now, if Bitcoin does continue to drop and does continue to go towards 104K slash 100K, then that is when we end up seeing another drop in Baby Doge. So that's what we got to watch out for. If Bitcoin does indeed continue down to this bottom Fibonacci on that support at 104K or this Fibonacci support at 99K, then that means that we would see Baby Doge also pulling back and going down. But for right now, it does look like Bitcoin might continue on the rise. So that means Baby Doge might stop and continue on the rise as well. Now, looking at the MACD, for the daily chart on Bitcoin, it does look like we could get some more selling pressure. Looking at the trend, the %R trend exhaustion, it does show that the trend is currently on the downtrend. But if you look right here, you can see it slightly curving upwards, like it wants to, go right back on the uptrend. So you definitely want to be careful if you're trying to short, or if you're just watching for a good buying opportunity. You want to be careful. You may or may not have already missed that buying opportunity. And when you come over here for the 4-hour chart, when you look at the MACD on the 4-hour chart is super bullish. Let me just start off with saying that the MACD on the 4-hour chart is bullish. The %R trend exhaustion on the 4-hour chart is also bullish, unless it does what it did back here around the 22nd of August, and that was around this area right here. And remember, this is when we had the Jackson Hole meeting. So if we see something like that happen where we just take off and then curve downwards, then we might have another drop in the prices. Because as you can see, we just now took off on the %R trend exhaustion, but then we were quickly rejected, and then we ended up going down. So the same thing could happen where we have another drop, and that would be what brings us down to 104K. That's a possibility, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen like that. It could actually continue to take off from where it is now. So you definitely want to pay attention to these indicators. Now, all that is cool and all, but it's still looking bullish on the MACD. So you gotta watch out for that possibility that we do pull back, but you just gotta watch out. Now, on the hourly chart here, you can see the %R trend exhaustion is still bullish, curving to the upside. Definitely looks like it wants to continue to go up. So it's not overbought here yet on the 1-hour chart. And you can see the MACD is actually still bullish on the 1-hour chart as well. So, things have kind of switched to the bulls. We were a little bit bearish. We hit 108K. Now we revived from there. Remember, there's 3 levels I mentioned: 99/100K, 104/105K, and then 108K. Those were the 3 levels. We hit 108K. There's still a possibility that we continue to pull back, but right now it's not looking like that. The %R trend exhaustion here is showing that we have not yet gotten overbought, but we are getting there with Bitcoin. So the MACD is also pretty bullish on the 30-minute chart for Bitcoin. So all in all, Bitcoin is looking pretty bullish for the time being, and that will also mean that Baby Doge is on that same path. If you look at the MACD on the Baby Doge chart for the 4-hour chart, it actually looks like it's reversing to the upside now. And then if you also look at the %R trend exhaustion on the 4-hour chart for Baby Doge, it is also curving upwards after coming off of this oversold area. So we are looking a bit bullish here for both sides on baby Doge as well as Bitcoin. You might not have that opportunity to buy down here anymore, but we'll see. We did have that opportunity back in June. I'm seeing if it comes in now, but right now, the way it's looking now, it doesn't look like it's going to go all the way down to 8Z1. Maybe it stops at 8Z1100, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to go all the way to 8Z1. It's still a possibility, but again, we are watching the prices for Bitcoin, and currently Bitcoin is looking bullish. Now, I showed you the 4-hour chart, the daily chart, and I did not show you the weekly chart. Now, for the weekly chart, this is much more long term than a lot of people are looking for. But if you look at the weekly chart, it does give you a different story. So the weekly chart is way overbought here, very much overbought. And you can see how the percent R trend exhaustion is curving a little bit downwards now, almost like it wants to start selling off, but it hasn't yet done that. So we gotta watch out for that. The MACD over here on the weekly chart is throwing up one little small tiny red candlestick. So it's looking a little bit bearish here on the weekly chart. And it also looks like it wants to curve and go towards the downside. So you have to pay attention to the MACD for the weekly chart as well. So if we look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin, it actually looks a little bearish. So you definitely want to be careful with that, because that could actually show that we do have a little bit more moving to the downside. And even though Bitcoin's going down, doesn't necessarily mean every crypto can go down. So baby Doge might have the possibility to break away from Bitcoin, and do the same thing that something like Kronos has done. Kronos has broken away from Bitcoin. Kronos is up 64% in the last 24 hours, 143% in the last 7 days, because of a deal that they have with Trump to do something with like a hedge fund or something. So they got a deal going on there with crypto.com. So Kronos was able to break away from the market and from Bitcoin. So there is still a possibility that other coins can do the same, such as baby Doge. And you are seeing some other coins that have done the same that aren't necessarily following the price of Bitcoin. We had Ethereum kind of do that same thing. Jupiter really isn't following Bitcoin. There's a few other things that aren't following Bitcoin as well. So Solana also is not following Bitcoin. Ethereum at this point isn't really following. So I think, I definitely know we are entering into altcoin season. So we're going to see all the altcoins starting to take off. So we're not too much worried about Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin does drop hard, then we probably will see a drop in the overall market. So we got to pay attention to that too. Now, I love to go over the developer wallet here to show you guys where the money's going. So you can see 7 hours ago they sent $143,000 worth of baby Doge to a wallet, which was 116 trillion. They sent it to this wallet here, and then from this wallet here, they then sent it to this wallet here, and now it's kind of currently sitting inside of this wallet. So we'll see exactly what they're going to end up doing with this in the near future. And then also on top of that, don't forget that they did say something about September. Something's going to happen in September. I don't know, but they say September with the eye emoji, which means something's probably going to happen. They've done this before and stuff has came out. So we got to wait and see what happens there, which is actually pretty good to do this as things are bubbling up. But if we get a pullback in the market, then we'll see what happens, because then I don't know if it'll be as good. But anyways, that's looking bullish for September. So yeah, we do have the possibility to break away from Bitcoin and the projects that do usually have something going on behind the scenes. Like Ethereum, they had stuff going on behind the scenes. They broke away from Bitcoin. Crypto.com, Kronos, they had stuff going on behind the scenes. So now Kronos broke away from Bitcoin as well. And baby Doge can do the same if they have something coming out like Crypto.com listing, Coinbase listing, Robinhood listing, Webull, Public.com, something like that along those lines would be pretty good. Now, this is pretty much all I got for you all today. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'll be back with another video.